Good morning class. How are you? Okay. I am Premlata. Today we will discuss 12th class geography chapter 3rd population composition. In second chapter we have discussed world population. So you all are aware about the distribution of population unevenly. In some parts most of the people are settled, in some parts sparsely populated, some areas densely populated and some are sparsely. So you know about the geographical factors, social factors and economic factors. Earlier we have discussed all these things. So what we will discuss in this chapter now, we will be able to know the sex ratio. In different countries, how can we measure the gender ratio? So formulas can be used differently. Let us come on the topic. Population composition. The main aim of this topic is to know about the composition. What is composition? The division of the male and females. The number of male and females. In some countries it is responsive for in the favor of the males. In other countries it is in favor of the females. In some countries the literacy rate is low. In some countries literacy rate is high. So here we are discussing about the age structure also. In which countries most of the people are in the category of the children, in the group of the working age, in the group of the aged person. So when we will discuss about this chapter, after the ending of the chapter, we will be able to know that the developed countries are having more life expectancy. These countries are aware about the size of the families. These are aware about the development, economic development and the social development of the people. So human being is a social being. You all are aware about that. You can't live without societies. And societies formed due to different type of communities. Firstly, we will discuss the sex composition. So in this topic, the first part is sex ratio. What is the sex ratio? We can find the sex ratio of a family, of a society, of a country and different countries of the world also. What is the meaning of this term? Difference between the number of men and women. So the formula can be used in different ways in different countries. Some countries are finding the sex ratio out of 100 and some are find out of 1000. Number of males per 1000. If we want to know the number of males per 1000, then first of all we have to write the male population divided by female population into 1000. How can we find the sex ratio in our country? So in India, sex ratio can we find the number of females because of the females are less in numbers in our country. That's why male population divided by male population into 1000. Next one, women's condition. When we will discuss about the sex ratio in our country, then we will discuss the main cause of this also. In some countries, the female ratio is less than men. So, in those countries where the women ratio is less, the women have to face many problems like that. Female fantasides. Some girl child are fanticide before the birth. Then domestic violence also. The average sex ratio of the world is 990 female per 1000 males. Very surprising thing is this. When you will know the average sex ratio of the world, then you will be shocking. This condition is not happening in India only. It is happening all over the world also. Out of 1000 males, 990 females are there. The another important point is this. In 139 countries, the female ratio is favorable. In 72 countries, the male ratio is favorable. So, in which area these incident happens, we will discuss in this chapter. Latvia country has the highest gender ratio in favor of female. 85 males out of 100 female. In Qatar, 311 males out of 100 female. So how this happen? What factors work behind this? Migration. What is the main factor? Migration. In some countries of Asia, people are migrating in search of jobs in other parts, and women are left behind. That's why the number of males are less, more than half from the women. So our today's next topic is structure. What is the meaning of age structures? Means the number of people, different age groups. Means the children, the adults, the aged. So in different countries, the age groups are different. In some countries, the children are more in numbers, adults are less in numbers, and aged are more. So we will do this topic with the help of some pyramids also. Firstly, we are discussing about the age composition or age structure of India. In our country, we are dividing all the population into three categories. Children. What is the percentage of children in our country? 34.4%. In this age group, the children are from 0 to 14 years. This is the age of school going children, and these group people are depend for their livelihood on the working age, on the adults, on their parents. Next one is the second part of the age group is adults. All the people from 15 to 59 years age, these are included in the working age group. These persons are earning for their families. So in our country, in this group, 58.7% population is there. So we can say India is a young country. Third part is the aged person. The people above the age of 60 years are known as the aged person. In our country, in this age group, 6.9% are there. Why there is different ratios? Because of in our country medical facilities are not provided. That's why the life expectancy is less. Now we all are aware about the age composition. So let me discuss about the working age group. 15 to 59 years, those persons who are under this group are known as working people. So how many male and females are there? We are discussing here. So we will represent it with the help of a graph. So this horizontal line denotes the population, and this vertical line denotes the age. One year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, like that. So now the age structure we will discuss into three forms: expanding form, constant form, and declining form. In expanding form, the birth rate is high. So with the help of this diagram we will represent it. So in the right hand we are represent the women, number of women. In left hand, men. When the population is expanding, then it will be represented like that. The base will be broad due to the high population growth. Basically, in those countries where the birth rate is high, so the people are not aware about the living styles, lifestyles, not aware about the medical facilities like that. So in those countries, basically, according to birth rate, death rate is also high. So the graph will be in triangular shape, and such kind of population is found in Mexico and Bangladesh. Next part is constant. Means neither birth rate is high nor death rate. Means birth rate and death rate are equally. So growth rate is near about 0. So in such kind of situations, the graph is not like that. We can't represent in triangular shape. Look at the textbook. In the constant position, the graph will be like that. Look at this figure. In this, the broad part is not wide. So the birth rate is low. The number of children are less. Then adults are more. Then infant mortality rate is also low. So such kind of situations are found in Australia and some other developed countries. Now, third part is declining, means least population, low birth and low death rate. This situation is known as aging, and such kind of situations are found in developed nations like Japan. Look at the figure, third one. Here in your textbook, 3 figures are given. First one is representing expanding, second one is constanting, and third one is declining. So with the help of all 3 points, we are discussing about the age composition in different part of the world. Now come on the next topic. In this topic, rural-urban composition, we will discuss about the different lifestyles in rural areas as well as in urban areas. So in rural areas, most of the people are engaged in agriculture work. In urban cases, people are working in the secondary and tertiary sectors. So those persons who are working on the agriculture field, so land is fixed. They are not expand the land areas. If the size of family increase, then what can they do? For example, if 5 members are there in a family, after 5 or 10 years later, 2 persons add in this family, then it is not possible for those persons to survive without doing extra work, and there is no scope to increase the earning of the family, then what can we do? So these 2 persons have to migrate in urban areas. These 2 persons will minus from there and add in the population of the urban areas. And mainly from rural area to urban areas, males are migrated. So now we are discussing about the working age group 15 to 59. But in some cases, children are also migrating from the rural to urban areas. So the migration is here from 5-6 years to 60 years. These persons are migrating from the rural to urban areas in search of jobs. Here they are getting the job opportunities in the secondary as well as in tertiary sectors. In the developing countries, we are finding the situation that in rural areas the number of females are more than men, because the men are migrating from the rural areas to urban areas. But it is reverse in the developed countries of Asia also and other Western countries. Because of in the Western countries, women are also educated and they are also able to find the good jobs in urban areas. Literacy. Literacy is the indicator of socio-economic development of a country. How many people are educated? What is the literacy rate of the country? What are the government policies? Which type of education facilities are provided to the people? So on the basis of literacy, we know about the social structures and the knowledge and the thinking capabilities of the person of that particular regions. Who is literate in our country, for example, in India, the person above the age of 7 years who can read, write and understand in any language and some arithmetic calculation also is known as literate person. What is the literacy ratio in our country? So, above the age of 7 years out of 100, the number of children who know read and write in any language. Last topic we are discussing here, occupational structure. So firstly I told you we are discussing about the age groups and basically we are discussing the working age. So how many types of economic activities took place in our country or the other countries of the world, we are learning about those occupational structure. So in 9th class also you have discussed, in 10th also you have discussed the sectors of Indian economy. So same formula we will apply here. 3 types of economic activities are mainly done: farming activity, secondary sectors and tertiary sectors. So in the rural areas most of the people are doing primary activities like that: farming, poultry, mining, forestries. In urban areas secondary and tertiary sectors took place. In secondary sectors manufacturing, in tertiary sectors transport and shopkeepings like that. Thank you. Have a nice day.